Hey guys, welcome back to the ManLab. Today's episode, we're going to be going through the ultimate stack with peptides or anything basically for anti-aging. Now, this is going to be balls to the wall, no limit financially. This is maybe unrealistic for 99% of people who are going to watch this, but fun little exercise to see what is capable in the peptides realm. So Alex and Jeff, whoever wants to go, first one, what would you be your stack for anti-aging?
Well, before we start, I thought you were going to say this is like a live longer protocol or don't die protocol.
This is just look sexy protocol.
Okay, all right.
Well, number one, optimize your sex-based hormones. So for men, that's testosterone, and for women, it's going to be testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. So get your baseline hormones absolutely optimized. So that is a fundamental necessary for.
I agree with. I concur.
Okay, good. So
listen, that's the foundation. If that's off, like half the shit won't work as well.
absolutely.
So
And make sure it's correct. I mean, listen, don't overdo your testosterone.
Yeah.
Don't overtake your estrogen or testosterone, but do it the right amount and get that checked. A growth hormone peptide, obviously.
Yep.
Increasing IGF-1 and growth hormone, cellular health, super important. You have your Mac Daddy, testosterone in my mind.
Yeah.
I know you are better and a bigger fan of IPA and CJC.
Knuckles.
Yeah. Well, I think, listen, I think everyone responds so different. We talked about this multiple times to peptides, and some people could take testosterone and they're like, oh my God, my sleep's drastically better. And then I take it. I don't sleep that
All right, well, how about this? Since we're balls to the wall and money's no object, we do CJC and Progesterone at night and we do testosterone in the morning.
Yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because the half-life of testosterone is relatively short.
And you're not as
Yeah.
groggy.
And if you train in the morning, you could take Tessa in the morning and you could do your CJC, which optimizes your sleep at night, which is really important
I
for
say
noticed
number
that
two,
too. I've noticed that.
double growth
the
hormone
double
stimulation.
dose CJC up at night,
Yes,
test in the
there you
morning.
go.
Okay.
Done.
I'm gonna give that a
That's number
crack.
2.
All right, cool.
Double dose.
All right, what's your next?
Next in line, cellular NAD.
Yeah, absolutely.
Power the mitochondria of the cells for all trillion cells in the body, just all cellular processes. I kind of like, because we don't sell it, let's just couple it together. I would say NAD and on your own supplement creatine.
Okay.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, cool. Well, we talked about
Why do they go hand in hand?
Because creatine is going to help your body basically produce more adenosine triphosphate. NAD takes ATP to the mitochondria of the cell.
And ATP is how your body produces energy for those of you who don't
Yeah.
understand
So you
what
get
I said.
ATP from your food. So you could take precursors or you could take NAD
Interesting.
energy.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
they could do go in hand. So it's like you're almost like you're going to help provide more energy to the cells. Plus you're putting more potential energy in.
Let's stay on the mitochondria tit for
Yeah.
methylene blue.
Yep.
Methylene blue will help to increase oxygen in your cells. It'll power mitochondria, create a detoxification property. It's cheap. It's a pill. It doesn't have any contraindication besides an SSRI. If you're on an SSRI, don't take it, by the way. You can get serotonin syndrome. But as far as like this stack is concerned, it's a great product. You'll pee a little blue and you'll feel great.
Yeah.
Definitely pee a bit blue.
So methylene blue.
Next one in line, glutathione.
Absolutely.
Master antioxidant for our body. Basically eliminate free radicals from damaging or killing the cells. Once again, longevity is all about cellular
And
health.
injectables, how you want to take that?
Injectable, 200 mgs twice a week. I mean, if you want to amp it up, 203.
Yeah, I mean, look, glutathione, like you're collecting the trash and the bad stuff that the body needs to get rid of. And of course, taking more of it, supplying more receptacles to a point to aid the liver to cleanse itself, get rid of the bad. Absolutely great choice. Vitamin D3.
Yeah.
Whether
Injectable?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't need to go injectable route. People can supplement it. I mean, first off, not everybody's deficient. Let's just start with that. But like, if you do have a deficiency, I think vitamin D3 is super important in our longevity. It really creates like a great ability for your body to build its own immune system. It has stronger bones. It really creates hormonal health. A lot of times, unfortunately, people just don't get enough sun or their cholesterol levels, or they just don't convert it. So yeah, I mean, if your vitamin D3 levels are not adequate or even highest, you're going to find that you're going to get sick more frequently and just feel shittier. So definitely get your D3 levels
so
checked.
this is kind of like a veer off because you have a lot of people that can take vitamin D3 with K2 and they don't absorb.
Yeah.
But a lot of times that has to do with their gut or the gut microbiome. And so kind of one of the things I was going to say is if you supplement a D3 and you don't see the number move, now let's talk gut because most inflammatory processes.
I know where you're going with this one. You're about to throw out BPC 157.
Well, so I'm going to throw BPC, but I'm also going to say is like BPC for at least what we offer, but getting a good pre and probiotic to make sure the gut microbiome. So when you do supplement things, you actually get more out of them. Now, if you have D3K2, you're orally taking it. The gut's in a good spot through taking BPC, getting inflammation down, and it's not moving. Now you could look at the levels and you supplement an injectable, and it's a game changer across the board.
I mean, this is a dangerous rabbit hole, but
Yeah,
you know,
like,
this
it
list is not by
yeah.
any particular, you know, in
We will
order
come
of
to like a
importance.
top 3, by the way.
Yeah, we will circle back around, but
It's just-
I think the next, so BPC on 157, because
Yep.
we didn't really state that it's great for gut health, anti-inflammatory, make you feel
Oral,
good.
take
You're going to move
recovery.
more, recovery. It's just a great general stay.
Well,
you know,
and for
in your
longevity,
system.
once again, mitigate inflammation that feeds, obviously crushes our cells, and cellular dysfunction feeds issues, disease process.
So next on my list is a GLP-1. You know, so people think about this as for diabetes or for weight loss. I mean, for longevity purposes, for anti-inflammatory purposes, for cardiovascular health purposes, for reduction in Alzheimer's and brain health benefits, you know, you take low dose tirzepatide.
I was just gonna say, I don't
or
wanna lose
low
weight,
dose
Alex.
semaglutide and keep it prophylactically in your system. You are going to prevent most of the age-related disorders that come from elevated blood sugar and have a really great anti-inflammatory state. There's a C word that we're not supposed to talk about a lot in our business, but it's been proven to
Ends in ER, not
Right.
UNT. Sorry.
Yeah, right. but it'll help reduce the incidences of that C word, because that C word thrives and lives on sugar. So having this thrown has a less favorable environment to live in. So
You
that's
said taking it prophylactically. What's that for people who aren't aware
just
of?
taking it in preventative measurements, like not using it specifically to cure an ailment such as obesity or diabetes, like,
Right.
but using it in effort to prevent something
So
from
not
coming
a
down.
you're
the
Small
road.
amount, like twice a week,
Yeah,
once a
just
week.
keep it in your system. Like I use, you know, a low enough dose to really not impact my appetite per se. I mean, I do eat less food, and that's also important to not put weight on and all these things that, you know, drinking alcohol and things that are bad for your longevity. You know, of course, taking a GLP-1, semaglutide, tirzepatide will make your desires for those bad habits reduce. You'll eat less food, which therefore your body doesn't have to process much. You won't put as much fat.
Blood sugar
Your blood
regulated
sugar will be
better.
more regulated. You know, you'll just have this cascade effect of just great benefits from doing a low dose product. So a lot of times people ask me, they're like, well, why do you take that? You're not overweight. Well, then I was like, well, that's the reason. But no, the real reason is because I do understand the cascade effect of the improvements that having controlled blood sugar and controlled food intake provide me in the long run. And so, yeah, that's on my list too.
You know, that's a great point, because a lot of people think it's only meant for diabetes in a high dose, or it's only meant for obesity in a high dose. And so you're taking it to get the benefit to improve the B cells in the pancreas and getting everything you just said, but you might do it twice a week. I do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Twice a week. So 2-3 times a week, a much smaller dose. So you're not eating.
Yeah.
But you're still optimizing your system, processing calories, sugar, all of the above.
Quickly, before we get back to the episode, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't on whatever channel you're watching or listening to the ManLab. And if you're listening on Spotify, if you could leave a 5-star review on the channel page, that would be greatly appreciated, because that will help continue to push it a little bit further for whoever is looking for information to help improve their health. Now, on the topic of information, if you are on YouTube, you can leave a comment below on this episode and we will respond to it with as much information as possible, or it might be another episode down the road. The reason this is important is because the more questions you guys ask, the more we know what we need to do to serve you guys better in future episodes. So comment on YouTube, leave a 5-star review, hit subscribe, and let's continue to help making men great again. Hey guys, so just quickly, we've noticed a lot of you commenting that you're not sure where you can go to get trusted and safe peptides, testosterone replacement therapy, or testosterone boosting therapy. And we wanted to just make mention that T Clinics USA is one of those places. Now, Alex and Jeff, who you see in this podcast frequently, they're probably in this podcast right now with me, they are from T Clinics USA. And as they've shown in episode after episode, details is what matters. So just because you may want something or think you need something, they are going to make sure that you are getting the thing that is right for the goal that you have. And what's better is they offer a 10% introduction discount to anyone who is listening to the ManLab. So that is you. So if you wanted to make use of that, get peptides or testosterone from a place that you can trust that have your goals in mind and want to show you the right way to get there, go to tclinicsusa.com, mention the ManLab for 10% off your first package, and you can even ask Alex or Jeff directly any questions you may or may not have, which is kind of cool. So just again, tclinicsusa.com. If you don't want to remember that, the link is in the description of wherever you are listening or watching this podcast. Mention the ManLab in the contact form and you will receive 10% off your first package. Now let's get back to the show.
All right, what's next on your list?
Next one for me, cellular. We said methylene blue. We said glutathione.
GHK.
Yeah, copper.
Yeah, we just did a podcast on it.
So it bleeds over to so much and it complements so much.
GHK-Cu. So first off, you'll look younger, which is super important.
So
if I'm going to look long, I want to look young. Like I don't want to live long and look like shit. So I do want to keep my skin looking good and my hair growing good. But it does have like great antimicrobial effects. It has an improvement on cellular health also. It has healing properties. It has cognitive function benefits. So GHK.
Sub-Q daily dose.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we don't need to go too wild with this discussion saying topical this.
Well, you're not going to get the overall cover-all benefit that way. So, yeah.
All right. So I gave you that one. What's your next one?
Oh, yeah.
He's running
It's your turn now.
I just win.
I haven't had a chance to think about it. So,
All right. Well, I will say, okay, so the new one that we've been kind of experimenting with, Sloop.
Yeah.
Sloop is a weight loss drug. It's a exercise mimicker. Yep. And you say, well, why in longevity? Well, number one, yes, to help burn extra fat, but because it's turning on those exercise express actions that our bodies go through, and part of that is improving cardiovascular health, improving cellular health, improving mitochondria stimulation and spin. And so I think Sloop is a good one to run periodically. So.
I've got one that you guys haven't touched yet. What about Patriot Pump? Would that help at all?
That's circulation.
Patriot Pump is vardenafil and tadalafil, and these are your ED drugs, but we talk about using them for workout benefits, like to provide blood flow. So of course, blood flow, look, there are studies where they use low dose Cialis. First off, to prevent a lot of ailments, such as prostate enlargement, which can kill a lot of men. So like that, you can help with prostate hypertrophy. You can improve blood flow, which is super important for our brain to have adequate blood flow. So they do say
your whole body
it's great for cognitive function. It lowers blood pressure, which obviously is really something that can put you down the road. It can improve circulation. So if you have poor circulatory,
all that stuff we just talked about shooting, how are you going to perfuse it through the system?
Right. So yes. so Patriot Pump is a good call.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
So that's going to help. That will help you guys. And listen, it'll keep you happy in the gym, looking better, and in the bedroom. So that's a good for the life.
The double pump.
Right. The double pump. What else do we got, man?
I mean, you could talk MOTS, you could talk 5-amino-1.
Yeah, some of these like designer, new to the market, SS31,
it's hard because
5-amino-1MQ.
It's hard for me to recommend certain things when they're a little bit more pricier and you don't see as big of a ROI from it. Like I like the things that like if I take it, I see it, or I notice it within I'll say a cognitive function peptide like dihexa. Yeah.
would be something I would put in my repertoire. I don't personally take it. I've said this before. I don't think you should start taking certain things when that problem doesn't exist yet, because when it does potentially exist, if you don't have that thing to back up on, then you can't resolve it. And if there's a tendency for us to build up a tolerance, then what if I exhaust it prior to it being needed? So like dihexa, for me, I don't feel like I have cognitive slip yet where my memory's not recalled good, and I don't feel like I need that extra ammunition for my mind just yet. I'm not saying I'm the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm saying that there are times where I think down the road I'll need it more and I'll reserve it down the road.
I mean, you're checking some big boxes when it comes to that.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that have amazing benefits from it, and I don't think I would notice so much. I don't take it yet, but I will reserve it for down the road.
I've got one you guys probably, maybe you could correct me on this one, but maybe for people, because we're considering just people around 30s, 40s. What if someone who's on a bit on the older scale, they're trying to improve their longevity? Would ibutamoren / MK677 be beneficial for them?
Well, ibutamoren as a growth hormone secretagogue, one of its benefits / side effects is increased appetite. And so, if you're a more frail or older person and your appetite has declined, absolutely, your desire to want to increase calories will tremendously improve, your muscle tone and bone density. Your growth hormone levels will jump up very high comparably. So older women, I think, who are very frail, do really well with it because their appetites are generally very small.
So that goes back to number 2.
I put my father.
You would swap one of those. Like
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be more
hormone.
specific.
Yeah,
I was just thinking
yeah.
for like
but it's
later
case by
age.
case scenario for that. For
Yeah, I
sure.
mean,
that was a great point, though.
An IGF-1 stimulating hormone, like there's growth hormone, there's regular, like if money's no issue, I would take pharma quality HGH. You know, I would take a Pfizer pen or Genotropin or something like this, but we don't really get into that because it's not cost effective. But in this conversation, it is. So human growth hormone in the morning, and then like testosterone or whatever in the evening, or growth CJ and EPA.
I like that.
And then I think maybe to cap off this conversation, you know, because we've hit cellular health, growth hormone, we deal with
I thought I went for
hormones,
the last one. And
antioxidants,
this
you know,
one.
probably thymosin alpha 1 and thymolin, which are immune system modulators.
I mean, that's
probably the final final boss.
Especially as you get older.
Yeah, because
just
you're
to
gonna
keep
get
your
sick.
natural immune system up. I was thinking tesofensine. That was in the last one we did on fat
Oh,
loss.
yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, like it's fine. You know,
Right.
it's not really high on my list. So
Yeah. So before speed round, top 3 for people who do have an actual budget.
okay.
Top
Well, we're
3.
both gonna say growth hormone or hormones
yep.
balance. We're both gonna probably go
CJC/Isha or
growth
testosterone.
hormone.
Yep.
Yep. For
NAD.
Sure. NAD all day.
And glutathione.
Big 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the hormones off the table, because again, that's kind of like the preface of like everybody
the
needs to be.
baseline.
You got growth hormone peptides, your NAD, and glutathione. Those are your 3 most important for anti-aging and longevity.
All day.
Perfect.
No
There you go.
question.
Sweet. All right, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go to tclinicsusa.com. Mention the ManLab, 10% off your first package or stack. Who knows? You might want that. And we'll be back later. But subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.